So, right, here we are. Hello, I'm Bill Russell. I'm the Associate Dean for International in the School of Business. I'm also the Director of the Islamic Finance Programs. And today we're going to interview Ali from Maktoum College, and he's the Deputy Director, and he oversees the actual Islamic finance content on the program. The Islamic Finance Program is a collaboration between Maktoum College in Dundee and the University of Dundee School of Business. We're about 5 minutes walk between the two of us, as it turns out, in Dundee, so we're very close together. The collaboration is quite special in the sense that the Islamic finance content on the program is taught by the specialists in Islamic finance in Maktoum College, and the conventional finance is taught by the School of Business at the University of Dundee. So let's move on and just talk to Ali. So Ali, can you tell us, well, name, who you are, what your title is, and what your role is in this program?
So my name is Ali, and originally I'm from Bosnia, and I have quite unique experience by studying in the Middle East, in Syria and Egypt, and then I combined it with the conventional studies at Gloucestershire University and Durham University, where I managed to combine the classical scholarship of Islam with a modern understanding of economics finance, which actually give way to Islamic economics and finance that we are now offering and teaching at Dundee University in collaboration with Al Maktoum. So my journey started from those three continents, if I can say. So it's Syria and Egypt, so Asian part and the African part, and then European part, which gives a unique blend of what is actually Islamic finance. It's not pure classical studying, neither is a modern, so it has overlapping, it's a cross-disciplinary approach. Okay. So that is my background. I'm now working at the Maktoum College as Associate Professor in Islamic Political Economy and Finance, and also I am contributing towards running and managing the program of MSc programs at Dundee University, along with Professor Bill.
Okay, so so you grew up in Bosnia, and did you leave young, old?
So I left Bosnia when I was 18, when I finished my high school, and then I went to Syria when I studied the Arabic language, and then I also studied Islamic studies, Islamic finance, or what we call it Islamic commercial law, which is the foundation of Islamic finance.
Okay, and then you went and did a PhD in Durham, is that right?
Durham University, and my master is from Gloucestershire University.
Okay. So you've done your university education in the United Kingdom, and then you worked in England, didn't you?
I did my BA first in Syria and the second in Egypt, and the postgraduate studies also in Syria, and then master in the UK and PhD in UK as well.
So you are a true academic, a lifelong academic already, and you're only such a young person, as it turns out. Okay, so then I actually met you when this program was being set up. I met you in 2016, I think it was. And that was when we worked closely together on setting up this the new MSc Islamic Finance Program. It seems a long time ago now. And I think we set up, at that stage, we were very careful in setting it up as an MSc in Islamic Finance, MSc in Islamic Banking and Finance, is MSc in Islamic Banking, Finance and International Business.
If I recall it, we set up around 7 pathways, which at the final stage we accepted only 3.
Only 3. Yes, well, hopefully we'll broaden out into the other 4 as we go forward. So tell us a little bit about the purpose of this program, the Islamic Finance Program, with a group of programs.
So the main purpose of Islamic finance, usually there is a fundamental question: what is special about Islamic finance? What do we bring into the market? Why do we need it if we can have programs which are already established from the conventional part of view? Why Islamic finance? So that is a ongoing debate for last 40 or 50 years in the post-colonial period of the nation states in the Muslim world, when the developmentalism failed as a result of the most of the production that are applied, socialist or the capitalist in the Muslim nation states did not deliver the expectations, neither the growth. So the founding fathers of Islamic economics, mainly from the subcontinent, they try to see, is there another alternative? And that actually paved the way for emergence of value-based thinking, which is actually endogenize the principles of Islam, particularly because those principles are embedded in those societies, and hence, as a theoretical development, it started from there. These are the foundational issues which were discussed in 1950s and 60s and until 70s. Unfortunately, and after the 1980s, the main focus became on banking, which was considered as only one tool of those theoretical framework. So and of course, even nowadays, the main focus is still of the finance and banking. But I think this pandemic that we are living and in ongoing the financial crisis that we witnessed in 2008 actually paid back away economic thinking based on the values. And now we are having even the prime minister, which are saying it's not any more focus on economic growth, or it's more about how much we can bring the welfare or impact on the people's life, which is the particularly interest of Islamic economics and finance. And in that sense, this is what we are trying to capture as well at Dundee University, that we want to merge this kind of thinking. Yes, there is a tools, banking, finance, microfinance, but at the same time, we want to have this philosophical understanding, what we are aiming to do, what is the purpose of that. And I usually give the example to students when we say the bank's asset went 20% up. And I also, what does mean that to us? It only means that the shareholders will get more money, but you will not have better education, better health system, better quality of life. So that's why it's all about human-centric development that we want to see as a result of endogenizing the value-based understanding in economic thinking, which is beyond just abstract way of mathematical reasoning of the variables. It is more about human approach.
Okay. So one of the things that always struck me was that if you go back into conventional finance, you go back into the 19th century and Adam Smith, it actually comes out, capitalism or conventional finance grows out of moral philosophy. It has a very strong background in the 19th century about why we're doing this for the community. It's not just for yourself, it's for everybody to benefit. And the interesting thing to me is how conventional finance economics tends to have moved away from that view, or has forgotten slightly that view. But Islamic finance and moral economy, Islamic moral economy, all has that back into the center of it. Is, why are we doing all of this? It's not just to make money. It's got a broader understanding. I think also that there seems to be three different groups of people who are interested in Islamic finance. One is the people who are just interested in the whole moral philosophy and the background, the underpinnings of Islamic finance. The second are people who are more focused on their employment prospects. And so they are thinking about working for a firm company in an Islamic finance, a company which is focused on Islamic finance. Or the third group are students who are working in a conventional finance institution, bank or the like, which also has an Islamic finance unit within it so that it can trade into markets, Islamic finance markets, and trade Islamic finance products as well. I think that pretty much covers it, isn't it? It's those which have got
as you highlighted, Professor.
Yeah, go on.
As you have highlighted, Professor Bill, there are three categories in terms of employment. But from experience, my previous work, we found also that graduates of Islamic finance, when they graduate from MSc or even BA, they quite easily also find the jobs in the conventional banks and institutions,
quite
because that gives them another opportunity. They can claim both. So
Yes.
when you study MSc Islamic Finance at Dundee University, by definition, you need to know neoclassical. You need to know institutions, the way it is done, the techniques and the tools that we are using for the conventional accounting and finance will not be different much from Islamic. So you can actually fit in both. And if the institution has interest to develop, or as we call it, dual systems, Islamic and conventional at the same time, which is now emerging as one of the phenomena. Some of those countries are adopting that. So then it gives you the opportunity that your employability is much higher if you just focus on one, whether just conventional or whether just Islamic. So we need to keep, and that's what is also unique segment of MSc programs and university, is that opportunity that we teach both sides. Conventional and Islamic are equally present in our embedded in the context and the
that's quite right. That's quite right. Okay, and so let's turn a little bit to the structure of the program. Do you want to talk us through a bit of the structure, the general structure of the program?
So we have 3 pathways, which you will, anyone who was interested can see on the My Dundee or Dundee University website, but all of them have unique points. Now, the foundation of all these 3 programs is what we call Islamic moral economy, which gives you the explanation why we are doing all this, why having Islamic term or as a component, and what gives Islamic part into all this program. But then depends on your appetite and interest. So the first one, we have MSc Islamic Finance, which is more technical than other 2, and it's perhaps is paving the way for further research and development. So it's more generic than previous 2. The other one is called MSc Islamic Finance and Banking, which is focused on banking side, who has interest to work in a banks, whether it's investment banks, private bank, retail bank, and so on. It will give opportunity for you to develop yourself and further improve, either through internship in some Islamic banks or project report that you might do in the summer. And the third one is international business. Now, by definition, Islamic finance is international. It's now operating more than 80 countries in the world, and the transactions are going between the countries. So it is international phenomenon, but here is giving you another context, how it is done within the conventional frame of international business. So then you are gaining the both aspects. So these are the 3 pathways. So the first one, I usually advise somebody who wants to continue the research, then you need to go for MSc Islamic Finance, where you will be studying, in addition to theoretical understanding of Islamic moral economy, but also econometric becoming essential part for further research and development. The other 2 also will have technical components, but mainly focus whether international business or banking side.
Okay. So that's very good. Now, the structure, the formal structure of the programs follow the formal structure that we have at the School of Business. And so there are 8 modules plus a project which you do in the summer. And we can talk a little bit about the project in a moment. But the 8 modules, you would normally take 4 in one semester and 4 in the other semester. You can come in September or in January. There are 2 intakes onto the program. So if you do whichever suits you, but also if you miss one intake, you can always come in the next intake, which is only a few months later as we're going along.
And also important thing, Dr. Bill, to add is that the modules, the structure or distribution of the modules, usually students are expected to do the project in summer. So we made sure that the essential Islamic model, which are prerequisite for delivering the good report or mini dissertation in summer, are always offered in February. So then you are equipped, so you're prepared and prepared to do that. So it doesn't have impact whether you will start in September or in January. It will be the same outcome.
So we have a number of these degrees in the School of Business, and we monitor very carefully the progress of students. And there is no difference whether you come in September or in January. no difference in your final grades, and also no difference on how well you do in the project as well. Now, the project can be taken in one of three ways. About a quarter of the students will take an internship, which is managed and funded by the School of Business. It's managed by Pagoda Projects, and those internships in normal years are in either China, Mexico, Vietnam, or Manchester. Given the problems that we're having with COVID-19, some of those internships are going ahead face-to-face, and other ones are being done remotely as we go along. There are also an opportunity for the Islamic finance students to make use of these internships as well. There's also a research consultancy exercise where they act as a team of consultants to local firms. And then there is a standard project which you can do. And I think you've got this year, all of the students are doing a standard project. They've chosen to do a standard project, haven't they, Ali? And with you?
If I'm aware, yes, because the fundamental reason that students are not very much keen to do internship online. So they would prefer the presence in the company bank. And so that was the reason why they opted mainly for project report this time. But also there is some kind of negotiation which we still need to see, maybe not this year, but next year perhaps, opportunity of having the internship in Islamic banks in Dubai, which is something ongoing process.
Okay, so that's a wait and see in this space. This will be sometime in the future. I think the thing we should have talked about first, actually, was tell us a little bit about Al Maktoum College.
No, Al Maktoum was now almost 20 years how it's established, and it was mainly bridge between the Middle Eastern culture and the Western world. So, and bringing the kind of diversity to the Dundee, also Scotland per se, in terms of what we are offering and providing. And it's a unique college in whole Scotland. I mean, there are similar institutions in England, much more, but in Scotland, it's unique because it's privately funded fundamentally, so it has some kind of leverage and opportunity to do things which are different from the mainstream universities in terms of the structure, bureaucracy, and decision-making process. College is under the patronage of the deputy leader of Dubai, Sheikh Hamdan, which is generously supporting this project in terms of finance particularly, but also we have something which is unique. Every year, twice, two groups of the females Emirati girls are sent to spend 1 month in Scotland, learning about diversity, learning about the culture, and then bringing back to Emirates. And these are suspected leaders in the process of building that knowledge economy, which Dubai is trying to achieve as a part of Emiratization process. But at the same time, there is enormous efforts to share those diversities and the culture they bring with the local people of Dundee and other people in Scotland who has a chance to join and study. And in addition to that, now college is in the expansion to bring some other modules in addition to Arabic language and Islamic studies. There are also professional degrees. There is also BA and so on, which are part, and also now we are looking to introduce the chaplaincy as a part of college and bringing or playing the role in terms of delivering those value-based scholarship or particularly Islamic studies and Arabic language within the Scottish context.
Okay, so I've actually been involved with the women that come on those two courses, and they are spectacular. They're amazingly articulate, engaged, caring about the world, caring about each other, and interested in learning, which is always spectacular as well. But I've also been involved with Al Maktoum College for a number of years, and I'm really pleased that we collaborate together. They have a very careful, caring approach to looking after students and looking after their education as they go along. So that they're an excellent teaching organization themselves, and I'm very fortunate to be in a collaboration with them. Listen, why don't we just finish up with some thoughts about what makes the program special. What makes it stand out as being special Islamic finance program? What do you think, Ali?
I mean, in my personal understanding, I had a chance to study the classical knowledge and scholarship, and I also studied in the UK institutions, which provided me with kind of understanding. What actually is unique about Dundee in comparison perhaps with other, I will particularly highlight Malaysian, Indonesian, or South Asian programs, which are very much based on the providing this basic technicalities of Islam, how we do things, which actually does not answer the question that we are looking. So that philosophical understanding in terms of the substance, what is all about, is there in our course, and also the frame, what is brought it together. So the ethics, how they are institutionalized to deliver this kind of expectation. There is also very strong critical understanding how we want to, create that cognitive understanding of the complex issues that we are facing in the world, and how Islamic tools and techniques can answer and relate to them. So that is a third point, and also that cross-disciplinary approach of neoclassical understanding, but also the classical, how they are merged to deliver something authentic and new, which actually fits for 21st century. So that is perhaps the fourth part or unique stand of this program. Now, also it embeds very strong or expect technical skills which are needed for employability, because employers are very keen to see those skills in terms of the IT and quantitative as well as qualitative skills in analyzing and understanding the phenomena under the scrutiny. So perhaps these are the main things which you can find in the program or MSc programs of Dundee University.
I guess on a practical level also, when you come to do the program, the MSc Islamic Finance, of course, you're a University of Dundee student, and so you have all the access to the University of Dundee facilities that all of the students have. Our Maktoum College is only 4 or 5 minutes walk away from the centre of the campus. And you also become an associate member of Al Maktoum College, and they have an excellent Islamic finance library, and they have rooms and space and for the students as well. And you have a lot of access to Ali and the other lecturers as well as you're going along. Listen, I think that's a good place to stop. We've roamed around a lot of areas. I'm so pleased that we are doing this together, Ali. You're an excellent academics to oversee the Islamic finance component of the course. The School of Business is very strong also in the conventional finance, and so this is a really good a meeting of two groups of minds to deliver the program. So very good, Ali. Look after yourself. The times are difficult at the moment.
For inviting me.
All right.
And I hope you'll continue doing a great job.
Okay, good. Look after yourself, Ali, and hopefully if you come to Dundee, please come and knock on my door and talk to me and tell me about your journey here. And I'm sure Ali would like to hear the same story as well. All right. Exactly. Goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye.
Bye.